Massachusetts, July 24th, County Road south to Walling Mountain. The trail started out very nice in the pine forest with some ground moss. We found some blueberries on the trail, and I ate some. The day was warm, with temperatures in the 80s, but with low humidity than it had been a couple of days ago. The trail went around 3 swamps, which was nice because it did not go through them, rather around them, so we stayed shaded. We heard some frogs and saw a small duck moving peaceful in the swamp. We climbed to an unnamed peak. We thought that it might be Walling Mountain. Then we descended down to Finnerty Pond. This was a beautiful pond because it was surrounded by woods, no development. We realized that we were running late and hurried to reach the top of Walling Mountain to meet where we were when we had done this section last October. The top of Walling Mountain had no view. We moved back down the trail and flew past the pond to hurry back out to get out in time for dinner. The sun was shining through the trees and casting shadows on the ground as the sun was setting with the smell of pine in the air. We heard the frogs, the ducks, and some songbirds. We saw a couple of through hikers going south on the trail and another couple going north on the trail. July 25th, Kellogg Road south to Shays Rebellion Monument. Today was overcast and breezy when we woke up after a night of car doors slamming at Benedict Pond campsite. We decided to hike this part of the trail because it was overcast. Big mistake. The humidity came on strong, and the breeze, well, it was gone. To add to the misery, the sun had come out with the temperature in the 80s. We were baking. The trail followed the Housatonic River bank with a big cornfield on the other side. The good part of this hike was all the wildflowers in the fields, but not overgrown in the woods. The trail was near Route 7, and we could hear the traffic along with the sound of a gravel plant nearby most of the way. Then we went through a grassy field, and I found 2 ticks on me. Deer ticks. One was attached to my stomach. We crossed Route 7 and reached a railroad crossing. Never seen one on the AT before. There was a railroad crossing signs for hikers. We heard the train coming and had an unusual experience of being on the tracks as the train approached us. We got off the tracks before the train reached us. The conductor waved at us as the train roared by. The bugs were horrible, with swarms of mosquitoes biting us on our face, back and legs, right through our clothing. The sweat and the bug repellent did nothing but was just sticky on our skin. We crossed West Sheffield Road and went through another big open field. This one was really bad. It was so hot now with no shade, and it felt like it was even more humid out. We finally entered back into the woods and sat down under the only pine tree for miles to eat our lunch. I had to poop and had a real hiker experience. It was a messy experience with not enough toilet paper. I could never figure out how you are supposed to dig a big enough cat hole in the ground for this in these woods because the ground is so hard. We continued through yet another cornfield and came out to the Shays Rebellion Monument. This monument marks the location of the last battle of Shays Rebellion, a pivotal event in American history that strongly influenced the shape of the United States government through the U.S. Constitution. We met some through hikers heading north, and they asked us if this was Route 7. We told them how to get to Route 7 and offered them a ride into town when we got back to our car. However, they were gone before we reached our car. We met a lot of through hikers, some friendly and some not too friendly. We saw a group of hikers throwing hay up in the air, and I had thought that through hiking must take you back to your childhood when all you did was have fun playing in the woods, swimming in streams, and no worries about work. The heat is unbelievable. I never sweated as much as I did on our return trip to the car. We had left 2 oranges at the parking lot for trail magic, and they were gone when we got back. We heard lots of heat crickets, some songbirds, and we saw and heard a lot of mosquitoes. We did hear some songbirds and some frogs. We saw sweet Joe pieweed, common burdock weed, Queen's Anne's lace, hedge bindweed, St. John's wort, and black-eye Susan. We also saw a sign about active bear activity between Jug End and Salisbury, Connecticut. Bee bites. We thought we would set up our tent in the woods off the AT south of Blue Hill Road. We had already hiked this section already. Dave had stepped into a bee's nest in the ground as he was setting up the tent. He was attacked by a swarm of bees and came running out of the woods. The mosquitoes here were so bad, and with the humidity, we just decided to forget about tenting here tonight and to just head home, as the end of our trip was planned for tomorrow.